How's everybody doing? It's Craig here again. Been a while. Got a Ryobi HT26 hedge trimmer. My neighbor brought it over to me the other day. It's missing a few parts. Specifically, let's see if we can't get you zoomed in here. Wrong way. Fuel lines. Can't get it situated. There we go. Both the fuel lines are missing off of it. Right here. The air filter's missing, and the cover for the air filter box is missing. The choke does work. The release for the choke works. It does have compression. So I don't know if it's got spark. I haven't done anything else. It's a momentary switch. Let me zoom you back out here. It's a momentary switch for the ignition kill. So I guess the first thing we're going to do, let's put a little gas down the throat of the carburetor and give it a pull, and let's see if she'll start. Not start, but pop off. It's going to be easy to do that. Like I said, just a little bit of gas down the throat of the carburetor. 2-cycle mix. And a pipette. I'm not going to put much in it. Gas is probably right there about where my thumb is. I doubt if I put all that in there. So I'll pull the throttle open. I put about half of it in there. So to get this out of the road here so I don't knock it over. So let's give it a little pull here, see what she does. Turn the choke on. Popped off right there. I don't know if you've seen that, but the cutters did start to move. So, I think this is going to be a viable machine. So I don't know nothing about the carburetor, so that's where we're going to start. And you know what? So I don't get copyrights put on me. Because owners of music love to put copyrights on you when you have music in your background. So that music was on a radio. I wasn't intentionally putting it in, but you know how they are. As soon as they hear a song, they like to put a copyright on your video. So we'll start here at the carburetor. We'll take it off. It's a Torx, probably a yep. That's a T25. So it's going to be a T20. Yep, there we go. So T20 Torx. And this carburetor is easy to take off. No gasket between the air filter and the carburetor. and the gasket's still on the carburetor between it and the isolation block. The isolation block is tight, so get me a rag here. All I'm going to do, I'm going to pause you here just for a second. I'm going to get some fuel line. I'm going to hook up here some lengths of fuel line, and I'm going to put it in my jar of gas here. I'm going to see if the carburetor will actually pump and function as it should. So I will be right back. Okay, we're back. I've not purged this out yet, but what I've done, got me a couple sections of fuel line, put it down in my gas there, and now we can pump it just like it's on the machine. And you can see it, but it's not pulling nothing up in. And both sections are under gas right now. But we're not pulling no gas. So this is going to have to come apart. I don't know what's going on. Might be the purge bulb itself may be bad. Might have a crack in it. Gaskets on the carb itself could just be dried out. Or something internal to the carb could be bad. Okay, poked myself. Where's my... Oh, it's over here. I know where I put it. Oh, I'm bleeding. So we'll start off down on the metering side. Wrong direction. That was actually loose. So was that one. Maybe just because these wasn't tight. Kind of crunchy. Don't know if you can hear that or not. I don't even know if I've got a kit for this one. These were tight. And here's the fuel pump side. does have the ethanol resistant diaphragm in it. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but this may be what the problem is. I don't know if you can see up in where that screen, that micro screen is, but it looks like it's could be plugged up. So, see if we can't get that out of there. Well, it's not plugged up, but it does have some debris in it. So you can see through it. So, well, just dropped it. Yep, I can see through it. The debris come out of it. This has got what they call the Pac-Man mixtures in it. The mixture jet screws are what they call a Pac-Man. Let me get my Pac-Man tool. I'll have to go through these. Here we go. I don't know if it's a big or a small. Yeah, this is it. So let's see where they're set at. This would be the high. Pac-Man straight up. Just over one turn. Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look like there's much on it. So how do I keep these differentiated from each other? High goes on top. Low goes on the bottom. High is always closest to the choke. Low is always closest to the engine. So here we got Pac-Man facing straight out toward the choke. There's one turn. Almost two turns. Like 1 3/4, 1 13/16 maybe. That looks pretty clean too. So the high is over on this side, the low is over on this side. See how they look virtually the same, almost identical. But I don't want to mix them up. So when I lay these down, the high is going to be on the top of my paper towel. and the low is going to be on the bottom. And that's how I do it. Sometimes you can tell there's visual differences in them. Other times like this, where they're almost identical, it's hard to tell. So I've just got some brake clean I'm going to run through the passages here. The needle is clear. Okay. I don't think there's going to be anything wrong with this one. Oh, I do want to blow some through here. That one's clear. And that one's clear. Okay. So, metering lever looks like it's in good shape, but the diaphragm, let me dig through some of my stuff right here. I might have a used one. Or one that's a little bit better shape. Nope, that ain't gonna work. I doubt if this in here works either. Well, I may be able to make this in here work. Looks like the buttons, you got a little button here on this side that pushes up against the metering lever. And if you look, it looks like they're virtually the same. So it's not going to be a direct fit, but I think it's one that's going to work. So let's see if I can get this off this gasket. Got the neighbor over here running a weed eater or something. Okay, that's the old one. So as you all know, well, okay. Oh, almost put it on upside down. This is a high lick carb. I don't know if you can see that. I'm not tightening these down yet, I'm just running them in. I would say that the neighbor's got his leaf blower running. Yep. Let's put the micro screen back in. I'll just take one of these spline tools and run it home. Don't particularly care for the looks of that one. And they're just a little cockeyed. So let's try this again. Still went in cockeyed. I like the looks of that. Don't know if you can see down in there. So remember, both the fuel lines are on the same side. I'm going to hold the throttle open just a bit. That way it'll set down on there without the idle screw interfering. Well, I'll have no problem reusing this. Sets on there just like so. Does not appear like there's a tear or cut or leak or nothing in that. Only goes one way. Didn't like that, did it? So remember, high is to the choke side. So we'll take the high. I'll run it in. Where's my... That's swine. What'd I do with it? Single D. That's a spline, I know. There it is, Pac-Man. So remember, this one was out just a tick, just a tick over one turn. This is the high. So there we are, we're seated. There's one turn. There's about 1 1/4. Remember, this one was almost 2, like 1 13/16. So we'll set it at 1 3/4 to start with, maybe a little bit more. So there's the Pac-Man right there. So there's 1, there's 1 1/2, there's about 1 3/4. Starting to get a little muggy in here. Well, let's see what we got. I don't think this is going to work, but we'll see. It might be the check valve in there. Just making sure they're both under the fuel. Yep. We're pulling gas. So, as you can see, we've got it pulling gas now. So I'll leave that gas in there. Maybe it'll cause them gaskets to swell up a little bit. Okay. I'll need the Pac-Man. Now we got to get fuel lines in this, because there's no fuel lines at all. Probably, yeah, there's not even a fuel filter. So, yeah, it's probably my daughter. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back again. Got my handy dandy fuel line puller. This is just something I made up. The 2 sections of hose that I cut to test the carburetor in the jar gas, that's what I'm going to use here. So, run this through the hole. Have to reach down in here. grab it, pull it up out of there. So what I've done already off camera, I just took and cut a bevel. Trying to adjust my camera here. And then I'll just run that right in here like so. Pull it up tight. Well, without breaking it. So let's try this again. Once you get that in there, pull that right through. The line's right here. Now you can pull this line on through. This is going to be the return, so it doesn't need to be in very far. This is the supply. Again, got to run my puller through here. Let's reach down in here and grab it and pull it through. The supply line I've actually got on the bottom. The return line's on the top. Again, let's put this in. Pull it up tight to where the end of it is. There we go. And there's the fuel line for that. That's already cut square. So now I've got to dig for a fuel filter. And stuff's falling out here. There's a fuel filter, and it's weighted, so it will stay on the bottom. Move my phone out of the way there. This is the supply. Get that down in there. Get my little hook. That's going to have to be pulled back through a little bit. Giving me fits here, guys. Doesn't want to lay down. we go. She's laying down now. Okay. So the return is the top one. This is the return, so this is supply, it goes on the bottom. Get the throttle cable hooked up. I'm going to pull some of that back through rather than cut it off. There we go. Do the same with the supply line, pull a little bit of it through, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I'm just running these down, I'm not tightening them up yet. I've got to get it in the hole first. There we go. And I don't see my little ratchet. Hold on. Laying over on the other bench. Okay. And that return line's still a little laying down against the cylinder. Okay, pulled it through, now it looks good. This supply line, I am going to cut it down a little. It's just a little bit long. Okay. Well, let's see what we get. Put a little gas in it. This was one of them EPA cans, had the trigger on it. It was terrible to operate. This spout here come off of Amazon for like, $5. Probably the best money I've spent. Okay. Gas cap. Don't see no leaks. Automatically in the run position because it's a momentary off. So as soon as you release the button, it goes back to run. And it's my daughter again. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We're going to attempt to start this thing after I move some stuff here. So choke is on, carburetor's already purged, purge bulb's a little more than half full, it's in the run position. So we're going to open the low up a little bit. So let's go about a quarter turn on the low, and I'm going to go about a quarter turn on the high. Choke it again. So it runs pretty decent. That's so let's try this again. Runs pretty good, guys. Didn't like that adjustment, did it? feels loose. I don't know if it's meant to be like that or if some of these screws down here are loose. I'm good with that. So now that I know that it runs, I can get the parts ordered up for it and get it back to him. Let's check these out here real fast. That's the same T20. That's what it takes in the carburetor. Nope. Well, yeah, that tightened it up. Them were loose. Go around this bottom here for the clutch cover where the gearbox is. Oh, there went my flashlight. Okay. Don't know if I can get to these here or not. We'll try. Oh yeah, that's tight. That one's tight. Okay. Oh. Okay, that's all. It's good. It runs. I will try one thing here. That's started. I'll roll it just to make sure it doesn't have a seal that's leaking, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Okay, that's the end of it. Order parts for it. Like I said, just the air filter and the air filter cover is all it's going to need. Hope you all enjoyed. Maybe somebody learned something in this one. Catch you in the next video.